Part of prepping your truck, getting your truck ready to install a four-wheel camper, one of the requirements of the truck bed area is that you remove your plastic bed liner. Many of the new trucks don't have that, but it is still available and we do see them come in. You can install your camper on a bare metal truck bed. You can install your camper on a truck with just a thin rubber bed mat in there. You can install your camper on a truck bed that has a spray-on bed liner, but if it has a plastic one-piece bed liner, that's got to come out of there. Most of the time you can just lift it up and pull it out. The tailgate you can leave alone if you like, because the tailgate typically comes off anyway. Your bed rail covers, plastic rail covers, can stay on because the camper's not touching those. But if you have a one-piece drop-in plastic bed liner, that's got to come out of there. So take out your screws or any clips. Take this whole piece out of here. This is too compressible and too slippery. The camper will slide around, move around, and the turnbuckles will come loose, which you don't want. So to get your truck ready, take out the plastic bed liner if you have it, throw a rubber bed mat in there if you want, have your truck bed spray on bed liner if you want. If you have a 2005 or newer Toyota Tacoma, don't be confused that you have a plastic bed liner, because you don't. The 05 and newer Toyota Tacoma trucks have a plastic composite truck bed. It's usually black, looks similar to this, but it won't come out. That's your truck bed. So other than a 05 or newer Tacoma, every other truck bed pretty much on the market is steel, just a metal truck bed. If you have a bed liner like this, take it out. If you have a rubber bed mat or a spray-on bed liner, you're just fine. A few different things you'll need to do to get your truck ready for a camper. Some important things, some just items you need to cover. Before you put your camper on, most people take their tailgate off, and we'll show you how to do that next. It's pretty easy. This truck has a spray-on bed liner. There's different brands, Rhino Lining, Line-X, and all that. We showed you earlier the need to remove a plastic bed liner, a big one-piece plastic bed liner, unless it's a Tacoma. Need tie downs and wiring, and then the other tires and suspension. That's the kind of the four things to cover when you're going to put a truck camper in a truck, especially a half-ton truck. Four-wheel campers, we have individual videos on our website and YouTube on how to install a truck camper. Basic overview, today's video, eye bolts. If you buy a new camper from us or from a dealer, the dealer will install the eye bolts and the wiring for you. We need some way to attach the camper to the truck so it doesn't fly off on you. We put 4 eye bolts in the truck bed, a zinc coated forged eye bolt, solid loop here, fender washer on the top, reinforcement plate underneath. We need a strong attachment point to keep the camper on the truck. So you have 2 eye bolts up front of the wheel wells, 2 eye bolts behind the wheel wells, and then 1 electrical plug that we put up here. It's basically a 10 gauge, 2 or 3 wires depending on the camper installation. Bigger campers, Raven, Hawk, Granby, have marker lights, running lights for nighttime, DOT standard. The smaller campers, you have a Swift and Eagle going back a few years, and a Fleet. Narrow enough, they don't require running lights, so we use 2 wires. Once the camper slides in here, we plug the camper into this plug right here. And what that's doing is it allows the truck to recharge the camper batteries when you're driving. So 4 tie down points, 1 wiring harness. Take the tailgate off, sweep the truck bed out, and then show up to your dealer. If you're buying a used camper, same principles apply. Tailgate usually comes off. Once the camper's in here, the tailgate won't close anymore, so most people take the tailgate off. Call the service department for proper locations on where to put the eye bolts, depending on the year of the camper and the floor plan. Varies over the years. Easy to do, but there is some differences. Next, we'll go ahead and show you how to take the tailgate off. To remove your tailgate, usually very simple. Most trucks don't require any tools. Just drop the tailgate in here, and in here there's a tab. You can do it with your fingernail. You can do it with a screwdriver. It's pretty tight on some of them, so a screwdriver is probably the safest way to do it. Pull this little tab out, and then you can just pull it off. That thing hooks on there. Pull that back so you can get it off the hook. Take that off, and we will do the other side as well. So you unhook your two cables, and I'm going to do this solo. Second wire just comes off. That thing comes off here. On the right side of most tailgates, it's notched. There's an opening right here that allows you to take the tailgate to about a 45-degree angle, and it will pull right out of that slot right there. So you can see the notch in the hole here, and this little thing is kind of a bar shaped, and it plugs back into that hole there. And then once it drops down, it locks back into the rest of this, so it can't come out. But at a 45-degree angle, that little notch will line up, and you can pull your tailgate off and out. And then on the other side over here, it just pulls straight out. It's not notched, it's just a round hole. So you just pull it off there, and then you can take it off. Good idea to do it with two people, just so you don't drop your brand new tailgate. I got big arms so I can reach across, but some tailgates are kind of heavy. And then what also came out of here, we had it disconnected earlier, is the tailgate camera wiring. This truck has a tailgate camera, a backup camera installed already. We have it disconnected because we put an aftermarket backup camera on the truck. So when the camper is on the truck and the tailgate is in the shop, we can use a secondary backup camera here. There's different versions. There's license plate versions. There's tailgate versions. We can mount it to the camper. This is real simple. We probably ordered this from Camera Source. The wire plugs into the factory harness. So when you put your truck in reverse, the screen on the dash comes alive. This camera looks just like the stock view that you had before. Nice feature if you have your camper on to still have a secondary backup camera. When you put your tailgate back on, if you want to, you can disconnect this, hook up the stock camera again, just depending on if you have this attached to the camper or if you have it attached to the truck. Before coming into four-wheel campers, it's always a good idea to pop your hood and take a look at your battery terminal connections as well. Make sure these aren't corroded or rusted out. Most trucks, they stay clean, but we've seen some in here that are so corroded that when we install our positive wire or our ground wire to it, that the terminal or the connection breaks off of there. Very, very rare, but always good idea to have clean terminals, make sure everything's ready to go. What we're gonna do when you come in is we're part of that truck to camper wiring connection. We're adding a hot wire, positive wire, back to the plug in the truck bed, and on the ground side of that we're completing it, so we'll have a positive and a negative. We'll run those wires up to a thermal breaker fuse in your engine compartment for safety. So if anything ever cross-wired or shorts out, This is a thermal breaker. It's a heat sensitive resetting fuse. So if there's a problem with your wiring or if you hook things up incorrectly, this will short out and turn itself off. So connection to the truck battery, to a thermal breaker fuse on the firewall, and then the wire will run back to the plug in the truck bed, and the camper will plug into that. The 4 kind of important topics that we've been talking about and covering again, we just wanted to climb underneath the truck and show you. We put new shocks on this truck just so it has a better ride, better handling for bumpy roads. Shock absorber right here can be changed out at any auto shop, basically, any garage. Very common, lots of different brands out there. Airbags is a supplemental leveling system. It doesn't really increase your payload capacity, but it just helps keep the truck level and at the stock height. This truck is a Ford F-150. We have the stock leaf pack system on here. These are just Ford leaves. Good payload capacity on these trucks, but not great. So if you're going to put a camper on, we recommend either upgrading your leaf pack or airbags, adding a set of airbags, or both. The ideal way to do it is stick with the factory engineering and upgrade your leaf pack. Have a shop add 1 or 2 more leaves into your leaf system. That way the truck and the camper weight are all riding on your leaf pack. And then airbags as a supplement for leveling. So you can left, right, up, down. You can use these to level things out. It'll kind of smooth out the ride. And then we upgraded to a set of E-rated truck tires. No big knobbies needed unless you want that. It's just mud and snow tire. These happen to be Yokohamas. You can go with whatever brand you like, BF Goodrich, whatever. Pick your tire pattern that you like. Mud and snow, E-rated tire. Find the right size for your truck. So tires, airbags, good shocks, and extra leaf springs, and you're ready to roll.